Steve, I believe our final car is making his way onto the racetrack. Joel Kauffman, 12.
Yep, just a reminder, David Reagan did not finish his qualifying attempt. He crashed. Reed Sorensen was not allowed to participate in qualifying. His crew chief Brian Patty and another team member ejected from the racetrack for altering their tires.
You mentioned Clay Rogers winning the Hooters Pro Cup race the other night. Joel Kauffman ran in that race as well, qualified 9th. He got caught up in a crash, but he competes in the Hooters Pro Cup North Series. Only 19 years old, from Indiana. Pretty decent lap, 15:63, 28th quickest.
Good job by the young man.
Just 19 years old, Jeff, out of Indiana. Made his NASCAR Busch Series debut at IRP, finishing 26th.
They actually pick up a little bit. He runs exactly the same speed on lap 2 that he ran on lap 1. Pretty consistent. But just to get in a lap like that, it's only 3/10 off the pole. Pretty good for this 19-year-old.
Very good job right there as we watch.
Oprah's one of the biggest names, of course, in TV, so that was awesome. But, you know, I was looking forward to going up there and having a good time, and we did that. It was neat. So it's a good experience for myself, and, you know, she rambled off Kellogg's about 5 times.
And that's always good.
Yeah, so I think I paid them back from my win in California, not mentioning their name by now.
All right, Jeff Hammond wants to ask you a question, so hold on real tight. Go ahead, Jeffrey.
Hey, Marty, what I was wondering about, I just wondered if she had any advice about what happened with him up at Loudon the other day as far as somebody getting hurt.
Did she have any advice of how to politically correctly, whatever, handle what happened in Loudon last week?
No, she didn't have any advice on that because we went up there before Loudon. So
they went there before Loudon.
Yeah, we were there before Loudon. So, you know, it's just one of those deals that you go along with. And, you know, I got in the back of Casey, and I apologized to Tommy Baldwin and those guys today. And, you know, it's just one of those racing things. And, you know, he came back, and hopefully it's all over and done with. We go on from here.
All right, and now we will focus on Busch Series qualifying. Kyle will go out with a race car that he told me very, very good in race trim. In fact, he said, quote, "I'm impressed with it."
All right, thank you, Marty. Joe Kauffman, 10th fastest of 11.
Crocker going by a car, trying to go by the 72 car.
Oh, there she goes.
Justin Labonte in the 44.
Here we go again.
Here hard to left side.
It looked like the 44 got into the left rear quarter panel of Aaron Crocker.
Joey Kauffman was in it.
She seemed to be having a hard time on the restarts. Once she got a few laps after the restart, she got into the groove, but she got turned on that one.
She'd fallen back to the 22nd position. You can see that Kyle Busch was in it as well.
And, you know, and like I said, it doesn't take. That's all you have to touch a car on this racetrack to get them sideways and wreck them. I mean, you almost have to, if you can look at the left rear quarter panel the wrong way, it'll spin out.
I could take my hand and hit that quarter panel at that point, and the car would spin.
These cars are on the edge so much through the corners here. It just takes a little touch.
And I tell you what, she goes down and hits that inside wall awfully hard. Joel Kauffman in the 12 car.
Watch for the 47 car.
It's about
John Wood.
4 cars behind this, and John's getting a lot of practice driving through wrecks today.
There he goes. Oh, he goes right between them, and the hole closes once he gets through.
He's on board with Aaron.
Get inside, clear.
That's what it sounds like.
Here hard to left side.
Not very happy. But you take some hard hits in these race cars, and that camera shot shows you.
See Joel Kauffman walking away from his wrecked 12 car.
Kyle Busch is in that too.
The second, he was involved in the first crash. They came in and fixed the right front fender. He had to restart at the rear of the field, making the pit stops, and was involved once again.
Mike Wallace, Justin Labonte. Under caution again here at Dover. Aaron Crocker and a number of cars involved in the crash on the backstretch.
In the Fitz-Bradshaw 12, and he will be the final driver to qualify here at Kansas.
Tell you what, he was pretty solid in practice. He was 23rd quickest, but the biggest thing, I walked by and talked to his crew, and they were all smiles. And this team has not had a lot to smile about this year. A lot of different drivers in this race car, a lot of good runs, a lot of tore-up race cars. They were pretty optimistic headed into this qualifying run here for this young man.
19 years old from LaGrange, Indiana. You know, it sounds silly to say, but it's reality anymore. 19 years old, but been racing for 10 years.
And you know, Alan, I was talking to someone the other day. It was not that many years ago you wouldn't touch a 19-year-old driver for the Busch Series or the Nextel Cup Series. Now that's what everyone's looking for both series.
And, a little wiggle there. Nice catch. But years ago, like when Dale Jarrett was coming up through, you weren't racing at 9 years old in anything. Now those kids running quarter midgets at 5 years old. And they do have 10, 15 years experience by the time they're 20 years old.
Tell you what, even with that bobble though, Alan, that's a great lap for him. He's a little quicker than he ran in practice, 13 quickest at a 30.48. And I know people, members of the media and the press, I know that's us too, but I'm talking about the guys in the press room. They want to compare the young guys today with the rookies. Bobby Labonte, Dale Earnhardt, Dale Jarrett, guys you mentioned. I just think you can't compare it because these guys are stepping in top-notch rides now today. Those guys were in upstart teams or teams that they own themselves, so I don't know that's a good comparison.
Trying to compare Hank Aaron to Barry Bonds. Different times. First lap fastest for Joel Kauffman, 13th quickest. Martin Truex Jr. wins the pole. Final results after this.
And Kenny Wallace, a 22 car, up against the wall, but no caution flag.
He's rolling.
Oh!
Trouble, turn 4.
More trouble.
And they're still piling in.
Big trouble.
Boy,
Oh
Joel Kauffman, Anthony Foyt, Justin Labonte. Is that Reed Sorensen back there? Travis Kittleson. Yep, there's Reed, third place driver in points. And there is Kauffman with a very torn up race car.
I think the 38 car of Foyt did most of the damage to the front of that car, and this was a long time cleanup here.
Right side of the screen.
The 44 car, I don't, did he make contact with the 21 car?
Might have.
I can't.
It was an awkward looking spin, wasn't it?
It was.
Stephen Wallace involved in it.
Yes, around he goes.
Bill Elliott in the 6 got some damage. No, Justin got hit from behind
by the 12 car.
Yep.
And Stephen Wallace made contact to the inside wall as well. Now watch this.
Bang.
Hey, our camera lived through that. That's amazing.
That's why Stephen made contact with the wall. He got pointed there by another car. Well, 2 words for this. Big mess. Caution is out for the 12th time. Reed Sorensen's got some big problems. Looks like the radiator's out of the 41 car. You're watching NASCAR on TNT.
Man, it's a difficult place to race.
Joel Kauffman bangs the inside barrier.
35 turned us, got the right front nose.
He's talking about Regan Smith.
Turned us from the square behind us there, Butch. Hey man, ain't nothing we can do about that. Come on around here, get caught up if you can. You got to pit right away, come on.
96 laps complete. Joel Kauffman involved in the 5th caution of the day. They'll accept the penalty for pitting too early to try to get him back out on track in the Supercuts number 12.
All you can do is lock it down and hang on. Hope you don't hit the end of that wall down there. Sometimes you get lucky and miss it. Most of the time you hit it.
And despite the safer barrier, a lot of damage to the front end of Kauffman's car.
Just a little tap. Bad place for the little tap.
Doesn't take much at this place.
That's our 5th caution flag. Ouch. It is snowing hard about a mile from the racetrack, but it looks as if this one might miss us.
But let me tell you who.
Lap 82. We're now at lap 162.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Round go.
Yaley.
Hard in the outside wall. Caution will be out.
Spread out, spread out.
Lucky he didn't
got
get
another
hit
one
again.
spinning down here.
All right, get rolling here.
Looks like the 12
Kauffman.
car.
Remember, Yaley came in here second in the points.
And he hit the wall hard after contact from, was that Johnny Sauter? Well,
That's who he was racing.
Yeah, there was a bunch of cars right there all kind of in a group. I'm not sure who hit who.
And Joel Kauffman, in avoidance, ends up with a lot of damage. The Fitz-Bradshaw crew looking on, and a lot of damage on JJ's car.
Here we go down here. He's on
Inside
the
of
inside
Sauter.
of Sauter. I think he just gets out loose and walks up the track, and to stay off of Sauter, he ends up losing the car himself. See that all too often.
That was right about the bump right there, too.
Yeah, to do the hip hop right there.
He starts outside pole tomorrow.
I think.
But I can't believe everybody else got by with Yaley in the middle of the track coming down.
Well, you know he hits the outside wall, he's going to start sliding down the banking, and this is where it gets close right here. They start splitting him here.
Looks like the 12 went down on the apron, and when he came back up on the racetrack, spun him out.
Michael Waltrip had a good view of this.
Then off the two got down in the middle of the track. He's right in the middle of the track. Go up, go up, go up, go up, go up. Another one spinning up there in front of you.
And let's follow Joel Kauffman in the 12.
See him down on the bottom down here. I think he just came up off the apron. He may have got bumped, but I don't think he did.
Fourth caution of the day in the O'Reilly 300. Turn 4. Tony Stewart and Joel Kauffman. And
All right, guys, get on your.
Looks like there's a.
After the fact, Stewart's car must not have steered well. It got into Kauffman again, and I think Kenny Wallace then got involved.
Yeah, I think that's just Tony's car. The wheels are all locked up. He can't steer that bad boy. I'm sure there'll be other people that have different opinion, but having been there, done that.
And Stewart was running in the 9th position.
12 car up there. He's already got damage. Tony gets into him trying to make the pass, turns Tony into the fence. A lot of damage to both those race cars.
And Darrell, what could have prevented that? Kauffman being a lap down, rolled out of the throttle, and let Stewart slide up in front of him.
Yeah, and that's smart racing here. You don't race guys here when you're a lap down and you got the 20 laps to go. And
actually, Kauffman's 3 laps down.
But at the start of that, Kauffman's up high, and there's smoke coming from the left front of Kauffman's car.
He already had damage from, I think, this other crash down here with Ryan Newman and them.
Stewart is on pit road. Let's go to the leader's pit and Dick.
Well, Denny.
Hey guys, so just to give you some more stats on Joel. Joel ran the USA R Hooters Pro Cup Series back in the early 2000s. 2003 Rookie of the Year in that series. And for those who don't know, the Hooters Pro Cup Series is now the Cars Tour. It underwent a lot of changes throughout the years, and that's what it's turned into, is the Cars Tour. So Joel, he was pretty good. He drove the 44. I'll never forget, because back then they used to play the Hooters Pro Cup Series on Speed Channel pretty regularly, and so I believe they even had a reality show that was following a couple of drivers back then. Michelle Theriot was one of them, and so I remember that distinctly. But he caught the eye of Armando Fitz with Fitz-Bradshaw Racing, ran a few races at the tail end of 05 to get ready for what was supposed to be a full-time effort in 2006. He never got up to speed. I believe he missed a show actually in qualifying at, I want to say, Richmond. And so they ended up cutting him loose. So it was very short-lived, but it was a shame to see, because Joel had the ability to be a really good race car driver. I just feel like, and I could be wrong on this, so don't quote me, but I feel like personally that Armando maybe put too much pressure on him to do something in that car. at the time, for those who don't know or don't remember, Armando bought that team from Felix Sabates. It was Felix's Busch team to go along with his Cup team. And so Armando married Mimi, which is Felix's daughter. And so he was his son-in-law and bought the team from him. They ended up switching from Chevrolet to Dodge in 05 as part of a partnership with Ganassi. It was going to be essentially, well, they were going to bring up the talent. So like David Stremme, or what they called their talent, their future drivers in the Cup Series. It was going to be where they honed their skills and stuff. So it was Dodge, since Ganassi was a factory Dodge team at the time. And so, but then they also ran a bunch of Cup drivers, Sterling Marlin in particular, in those cars to get, back then, the Gen 4 Cup cars were not that dissimilar from the Generation 4 Busch cars. Very similar. There's slight differences in horsepower and wheelbase, not much. And so, if you could run on Saturday, you get a massive notebook for what your car's probably going to do Sunday. I think the tires were the same. Everything was virtually the same. Just little small, minute differences that maybe at certain tracks would make a huge difference, but overall, not that big of a difference. So, anyways, they brought Joel in 05 and then into 06, and it was just an unmitigated disaster. Now, there used to be a reality show back then. It's called NBS 24/7, and it may have been a different name prior to that. I'm not exactly sure, but I do remember NBS 24/7, and Fitz-Bradshaw Racing was featured in that show. And to me, from my perspective, and reality shows are embellished. They kind of exaggerate some things, and it just looked like Armando, he liked to run his team with an iron fist, okay? And Terry just wasn't there that much. Now, that's according to the reality show. Whether that was actually the case, I don't know. But Armando he wanted results straight out of the gate, and you can't expect that. With a rookie driver, you're bypassing trucks. You're going from late model stock cars straight into Busch. Now, every once in a while, you'll come across a driver who can pick it up like it's nothing and just go to town and wear everybody out. But it's foolish also to look back and say that Fitz-Bradshaw was anything other than a mid-pack team. They come close to winning a couple of races, but it was just a mid-pack team, and it shouldn't have been with the resources that they had. They should have been top 5 every week, if not competing for wins every week with that support from Ganassi. So it's kind of crazy that never happened, never panned out. Stremme had a really good season in 05, by his standards and by the team standards. Had a really good season, and then he was gone after that. And then the team fluttered around through 06, and then over the next couple of years, they had Mike Bliss, I believe in 08, drove their car, which by that point they had just cut down to one team. They had 3 in 05, and then 06 they had 2, the 14 and the 12, and then whittled it down to 1 eventually. And Mike Bliss drove the car and had some really good runs in it, but that I would chalk that mostly up to the driver, because Mike Bliss has always been able to get results out of equipment that, he'll get top 10s in cars that's got no business being in the top 10. It's just, he ran good in Curtis Key's truck in the Truck Series, and that was one of the most underfunded teams out there. And so to take somebody from the late model circuit, throw him into the deep end essentially, and just expect results right out of the gate, it was never going to happen. It was never going to happen. And so Joel ended up getting cut loose midway through 06, and that was the end of his NASCAR career, driving. It'd be really interesting to know what he's been up to since. The sport is littered throughout the years with guys who had talent and didn't make it for whatever reason. He's another one on a long list. But at least Armando's cars looked good, because they did. Every one of those paint schemes. He had this weird thing that he would do with where the number on the doors were. Kind of like this diamond-shaped design behind it. He did that on all of his cars, particularly in 05 and 06. And it looked really good. I liked it. Plus, I love the old Dodge Generation 4 cars. I don't know if you call them Generation 4 in Busch, but that's what they were. And so, anyways, so that's it. Another bad combination. Joel Kauffman and Fitz-Bradshaw Racing from 2005, 2006. So if you like that, you found this interesting, like, subscribe, leave a comment, turn on notifications, share this video far and wide. Once we get to 2,000 subscribers, we're going to do a massive giveaway. I had originally stated that we were going to just do like 2 people. We're going to do way more than that. I've got a small warehouse full of NASCAR stuff, die-cast, t-shirts, ball caps, you name it, jackets, a bunch of stuff that I've been holding on to for a while that I really want to get rid of. And what better way to show you guys how much we appreciate your support, to give back to you. So we're gonna pick like 10 people, if not more than that we're gonna give stuff away to. So help us get to 2,000, and then we'll do that for you guys. Like I said, just to show my appreciation, because I really do appreciate it. Y'all are awesome. So like I said, like, subscribe, turn on notifications, leave a comment, share the works, and until next time, that'll do it. Love you guys. God bless. Peace.